to life in the second tier and are yet to secure their first league win of the season. Daniel Farke, who led Norwich City to 2 promotions to the Premier League from this division, is the new man in charge, but he appears to have a mammoth task on his hands. The Whites have lost several key players over the summer and have ordered trio Willy Nonto, Luis Sinisterra and Helder Costa to stay away from the first team, indicating all is not well behind the scenes. Far from ideal from a side who will be determined to secure an immediate return to the Premier League. Albion have lost their last 3 up here and have only won 1 of their last 13 trips to Elland Road. But tonight, many baggies believe they could heap more misery on Leeds at the start of the new term. Will Carlos get one over his former employers, or will Farke's men finally get their first victory in the Championship? We're set for an intriguing night of action, and we've got every little last kick covered, as always, on WBA Radio. Here's the Albion 11, and it's an 11 which features just one change from last Saturday's triumph over the Swans. Brandon Thomas Asante has recovered from an ankle injury sustained against Stoke in the Carabao Cup, with Corberant electing to name Connor Townsend as a substitute tonight. It means Matty Phillips will move to left wing back, having started as a central striker at the Hawthorns 6 days ago. Here's the team in full. It'll be a 3-4-2-1 formation once more, with Alex Palmer between the sticks. A back 3 of Shemi Ajayi, Cedric Kipre and Eric Peters. Darnell Furlong starts on the right side on the right wing, Matt Phillips on the left, Jason Malumbi and Okay Yukuzlu are the 2 central midfielders. Jed Wallace and John Swift will play either side of Brandon Thomas Asante. The Baggies bench: Griffiths, Bartley, Townsend, Gardner-Hickman, Moat, Chalabar, Fellows, Sarmiento and Maja. Leeds United make 2 changes from that last gasp defeat to Birmingham at St Andrews last weekend. Joe Rodon makes his first appearance here at Elland Road, and Jorginho Rutter, their record signing, starts. It's a rare one for him, just his second in the league since joining for £36 million in January. Charlie Creswell and Ian Poveda drop out. They will line up 4-2-3-1. Ilian Meslier is the goalkeeper. Luke Ayling at right back, he's the captain. Joe Rodon and Pascal Strauch, the 2 centre-halves. Sam Byram is back at Leeds and back at left back this evening. Ethan Ampadu and Jamie Shackleton, the 2 sitting midfielders. Archie Gray just in front of those 2. Joe Gelhardt and Dan James will provide the support for Jorginho Rutter, the 21-year-old Frenchman who is yet to score for Leeds. Their substitutes tonight, they've only managed to name 7 players. All sorts of problems behind the scenes for Leeds United. A host of departures and a few players who've been ordered to stay away means that Daniel Farke can only name 7 and has to name 2 goalkeepers. The 2 goalkeepers, Chris Klassen and Carl Darlow. Charlie Creswell, Darko Giabi, Sam Greenwood, Lewis Bates and Cody Drame are the subs for Leeds United tonight. The referee is Matthew Donoghue. His 2 assistants are Paul Hodgkinson and Daniel Leach. Lee Doherty is the 4th official. Joining me here on what is set to be a cracking night of Sky Bet Championship action at Elland Road, Andy Johnson. Andy, very good evening to you.
Good evening, Jez.
This is a mouth-watering clash, isn't it? This is no surprise it's on Sky. It's terrible, isn't it, for the fans that this one has been picked for Sky, but you can see why the TV cameras have picked Leeds United against West Bromwich Albion. It's got all the makings of a really, really tasty encounter tonight.
Yeah, it certainly has. There's something magical. We've said it before. Friday night under the lights. Used to love playing in these occasions. I mean, big game, big stadium, big club, Leeds, you know, a lot of history. Big game, but they've got their problems at the moment, haven't they? You've highlighted already. Can't even name a full account of substitutes. Got 2 goalkeepers including that. They're really great time to play them. I mean, Blues got a great result against them last week. We've got to take that and use that as our advantage. Start right, get at them. You know, they've got the young lad Gray playing up front, I think, and you know, We've got to go out and take the game to them tonight. You're not going to get a better opportunity to come to Elland Road and walk away with all 3 points. You're really not.
Andy, how important was it to get off to a good start at home last weekend against Swansea City? You used to play the game. All the players came out afterwards and said the sooner you can get 3 points on the board, that first victory, the more confidence it gives you. The longer and longer it takes, the more nerves start to settle in, the more doubt starts to creep into the game. How important was that for Albion to beat Swansea?
Absolutely massive. There's a lot of firsts at the beginning of the season, both individually and collectively. You know, they'll be looking at this tonight as the first away win. They'll want to get that under their belt now. Lovely lovely to get the first home win. There's never really been an issue at home, has there? You know, last season it was a fortress. It was the away form that kind of let us down a little bit. Imagine coming here tonight and getting all 3 points. It'd be a massive achievement. It really, really would. And then, you know, that's your first away win. Then there's individual first on there for players, first clean sheet, first goal scored, you know, first assist, lots of those sort of things. It'll be going for all the players' heads. It goes for every player's head at the beginning of each season. But like I said, there's something magical about Under the Lights Friday night on Sky.
Andy, the big talking point as far as team news goes this evening is Matt Phillips playing at left wing back. He spoke in the week about his versatility. He said he's happy to play anywhere. We spoke about it against Swansea, didn't we? He was playing centre forward that day, but we joked that the only position he hasn't really played for Albion is centre half and goalkeeper. He's at left wing back tonight. We saw him play right wing back under Darren Moore for 4 or 5 months. Albion clearly have got a game plan in mind with Matt Phillips starting there. What do you think that is?
I don't know, to be honest. I looked at it, and you know, you've got Connor Townsend who's on the bench, that's his natural position. So I don't know. I don't know how we're going to set up. Whether, you know, Carlos has got a few surprises up his sleeve for tonight. Be interested to see how, you know, I'm sure we'll line up with the three at the back and Matty playing his wing back. But as we attack, will Matty move inside with that push of midfielder on forward? I really don't know what's going through his mind at the moment. I'm excited to find out. But you know, we have said it, haven't we, about Matty Phillips? He's so versatile. You can play anywhere. I thought he did excellent up front on his own against Swansea. I've got to say, he runs in behind, he holds the ball up probably better than any of the other strikers we have at the club, to be fair to him. You know, but his versatility is just brilliant for Carlos, because he can put him anywhere he likes and he knows he's going to get a job out of him.
Andy, it's always a wonderful atmosphere, isn't it, inside Ellen Road? They really are a raucous and partisan home crowd here at Ellen Road. How important is it and how crucial is it that Albion use this atmosphere to their own advantage tonight?
Oh, massively. I mean, don't forget, they're the same as our fans and the same as any fans. When it's going well, they'll sing and they'll cheer. But I tell you what, you start well and it doesn't go so well, this crowd will turn. We've been here before, Jez, and we've seen them turn. You know, they must be looking at the team tonight. They must be looking at the subs. They must be thinking, what's going on to our football club at the moment? So if we start well and we put them under a lot of pressure, even score a goal, go one up, they'll turn. And imagine all these people in here turning against their own team, and they will do. So that's what we've got to try and do. Silence the crowd and get them on the backs of the players. They won't be happy if they go a goal down, these fans, I'll tell you that now.
Well, this is a famous fixture in English football. It's a shame to see it being played in the second tier. This is certainly a fixture that is worthy of top-tier status. Both teams aiming to get there this season. You'd argue that Leeds are in a better position than Albion to try and achieve that, but this is a championship and anything can happen. Albion have got a win under their belts already. Leeds United haven't, and Albion will be hoping to make it successive victories and climb onto 6 points and Leeds lingering on just one. The two teams tonight, starting with West Bromwich Albion, one change from that side that beat Swansea City at the Hawthorns last weekend. Brandon Thomas-Asante fit again after missing the win against Swansea. He comes in for Connor Townsend. It means that Matt Phillips starts at left wing back tonight. Albion will line up 3-4-2-1. Alex Palmer in goal, a back three, unchanged from the game against the Swans. Ajayi, Kipre and Peters. Furlong right wing back, Phillips left wing back, Malumbi and Yukuşlu in midfield. Wallace and Swift will be either side of Thomas-Asante, Wallace wearing the captain's armband. The Baggies bench, Griffiths, Bartley, Townsend, Gardner-Hickman, Mowat, Chalobah, Fellows, Sarmiento and Maja. Two changes for Leeds from that 1-0 defeat to Birmingham last Saturday. They conceded a 90th minute penalty which was converted by Lukas Jutkovic, meaning that they have just 1 point from their first two games. It's been an uncomfortable start for Daniel Farke's men back in the second tier. Joe Rodon and Jorginho Rutter come into the 11. Charlie Creswell and Ian Poveda drop out. They will line up 4-2-3-1 with Meslier in goal. A back four of Ayling, the captain, Rodon and Strauch at centre half, and Byram at left back. In midfield, Ampadu, Shackleton and Gray. Gelhardt and James will be either side of Rutter, the record signing. On their bench, two goalkeepers and only 7 players. Klaassen and Darlow, the two stoppers. Cresswell, Giabi, Greenwood, Bate and Drame. The referee, Matthew Donoghue. The two assistant referees, Paul Hodgkinson and Daniel Leach. Lee Doherty is the fourth official tonight. Andy, we've spoken about Albion's poor record away from home. when you look at it, the Baggies, they've lost 25 of the last 48 away games in the Championship, winning just 13 of those. That's where they've fallen short when it comes to the playoffs and getting promoted in the last 2 seasons. What a statement it would be, and what a turn of events it could be if they were to win here at Ellen Road tonight.
It'll be a massive victory. And it sends shockwaves through the division, even at this early stage, Jez. I mean, it really does. I mean, if you look at the teams that come down from the Premier League into this division at the end of last season, they're all favourites to go straight back up. You know, then you throw a few more into the mix that nearly made it last season. You know, but nobody really spoke about us. We're going under the radar a little bit, and I like that. So this is a massive win tonight if we get it here.
It's Albion to get the game started in their red and navy blue chain strip this evening in West Yorkshire. Ellen Road, the home of Leeds United, with Carlos Corbrand's men attacking the Don Revie stand away to our left-hand side in this first half. Leeds shooting towards the Norman Hunter stand. We've got the Albion fans, of which there are about 1,800 or so, to our right-hand side. Leeds in all white. The Baggies, as previously stated, in navy blue and red. We're set for a cracking evening. Albion looking to build on last weekend's win against Swansea. Leeds looking to kickstart their campaign after picking up just 1 point from their opening 2 games. It's an early touch for Joe Rodon at the back, the Wales international for Leeds United on loan from Tottenham Hotspur. There's another Welshman on the ball. Ethan Ampadu goes backwards to Pascal Struijk. And now Joe Rodon again inside his own half. Struijk encouraged to get forward by Rodon. He clips the ball over the top. It's one down the line for Joe Gelhardt to run after. He gets on his bike but doesn't keep the ball in play, drifts aimlessly out. It was Byron actually, not Gelhardt, apologies. And Alex Palmer will have an early goal kick. It can be an intimidating place for goalkeepers to come. It'll be interesting to see how Alex Palmer handles that tonight, Andy.
Well, he'll settle in. He's got our fans there behind the goal, so they'll keep him company in the first half, and hopefully by which time he'll get settled into it. I mean, I don't know how Leeds are going to fare tonight, to be honest. I think they might be a little bit nervy to start with. They're at home. There's a bit of pressure on them to get a result tonight, you know, and especially after their defeat the weekend. They could be a bit nervous.
There's Furlong. Good kick from Palmer. Heads it up towards Jed Wallace. It's cleared out by Pascal Struijk. Throw for Albion over on the far side. Furlong will take it. Albion's number 2. You get the feeling with Darnell Furlong, Andy, that right wing back really suits him.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, he's got a good engine. He's got a great delivery, you know, and it's a position that's made for him, really. He can get up and down. He can defend well, you know, and he always. Where he struggles sometimes is his distances, Jez, but he seems to have got that sorted out now, and you know, he's a lot more complete as a player this season.
There's Gelhardt as Leeds win the ball back, but it's tapped away from him by Okay Yukuzlu, and now Furlong into Jason Mulumby, who does well to work the ball out of a tight space and give it back to Cedric Kipre on the halfway line. Kipre has Jorginho Rutter on his back. Now Peters, first touch of the night for the Albion centre half on the left side of the 3 to Phillips, back to Kipre inside his own half.
I mean, look at our wing backs. They're playing like wingers, to be honest. I mean, you've got Mate Phillips, who's on the left wing here now, and on the far side, and they're both very wide. The pitch is very spread.
Well, Eric Peters almost plays in a hybrid position, Andy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's a left-sided centre half in the 3, but when Albion are defending, he kind of slots back into that left-back role.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does it. But he gives us great balance, I think, down the left-hand side.
It will give Matt Phillips licence to get forward on that side this evening as Furlong fires it in towards Thomas Asante. Cleared away, and Kipre wins the header. Furlong flicks it forward towards Brandon Thomas Asante, headed up and away by Sam Byram. And then the offside flag is up against Brandon Thomas Asante as the header is won by Mulumby. Free kick to Leeds.
He's got to be careful with that, Asante. A few times now, not this game, but last games in that. It's just, I don't think it's laziness. I just think he's not aware. He's got to work back.
Well, the camera has just panned to Patrick Bamford and Junior Firpo, 2 of the Leeds players missing tonight. You look through the list of players that left in the summer, Andy. Brendan Aronson, Rasmus Christensen, Diego Llorente, Robin Koch, Mark Rocker, Max Verber, Jack Harrison, then Willie Nonto, Luis Sinistera and Helder Costa have all been told to get away from the first team, basically. It's not been an ideal start to life back in the Championship for Leeds.
No, it hasn't. And you can only think that Farker thinks they're going to upset the players that are there. To have so many players that don't want to be at a football club and they're practically saying they're not going to play. It's crazy.
Well, there is talk about Willy Gnonto sealing a move back to the Premier League. They certainly tried to force that.
I mean, we had it
Daniel
years ago.
Farker not having it.
We had it years ago with Pierre van Hooijdonk, and that was a bit of a bizarre. But it's not a great way to start the season. And that was when we got promoted to the Premier League, not let alone coming down to the Championship.
Here's Ajayi, plays it forward towards Furlong. And stepping in on that far side was Sam Byram. And Leeds have won a throw. Albion unable to keep the ball in play. Here now is Ethan Ampadu, wearing 4 for Leeds United. Into Joe Gelhardt, goes all the way back to Pascal Struijk. One of the Leeds players in the team tonight that was with them for the Premier League season last year.
So straight away we see Leeds get on.
Archie Gray.
We see Leeds get on the ball, Jez, and straight away we drop to a back 5.
They're in behind. Dan James up against Darnell Furlong on the left-hand side for Leeds United, level with the edge of the penalty area, hugging that left-hand touchline. James wants to play it into the penalty area, and in it goes. Here come Leeds looking for the first goal of the night. It's hit towards goal, and the curling effort is bent just wide by Sam Byram, who got forward well then from left full-back. The man back at Ellen Road, having left in 2016 to join West Ham United, but darted into the box there, and a right-footed effort curling just wide of Alex Palmer's far post.
Yeah, decent player, very, very quick, very direct. Certainly one we're going to have to keep an eye on.
Here's Kipre on the edge of his penalty area to Eric Peters, passes it through 2 Leeds players into Yukuzlu, and now Wallace switches the ball around the corner towards Furlong. This might be a chance for Albion to break forward at pace. Furlong has to get the ball under control. Plenty of white shirts back to block his route through to the final third, and Albion are happy to have it at the back. Here's Peters, lets the ball run on through towards John Swift. First real involvement for him tonight. Scored Albion's 3rd and final goal against Swansea last Saturday. Backwards it goes to Peters. He then finds Cedric Kipre. There's a ball over the top from Kipre to Furlong. It's a good ball as well. Furlong takes it down. Albion have 5 blue and red shirts forward. Furlong has to go backwards to Shemi Ajayi. Now Yukuzlu, edge of the centre circle inside the Leeds half. Peters. Albion having to remain patient, but they look comfortable in possession of the ball, Andy, so far.
Certainly do. I mean, there's no need to force it. Quieten this Leeds crowd down. Leeds have had a decent little spell there with an opportunity. Get the ball, just put a few passes in. Don't force it.
Here's Cedric Kipre. Square ball to Shemi Ajayi. And now Ako Yukuzlu, all the way back to Alex Palmer. Now Palmer again. Lifts it long towards Furlong. In the air he jumps, trying to find Jed Wallace, but it's straight through to Pascal Struijk. And Ethan Ampadu up into the air, asking a lot there of his defenders, and Albion have won the ball back fairly. No, not according to the referee. Well, he let that go for a second or two there. But the foul adjudged to have happened by Yukuzlu on Joe Gelhardt. Free kick for Leeds inside the centre circle. Carlos Corberán, Andy, a man that knows Ellen Road, Leeds fans, Leeds players, this football club so well, spent 3 years here. First as an under-23 coach, and then had 2 years as a first-team coach under Marcelo Bielsa, who he called a genius, and the reason why he is so passionate about football, as well as his granddad. We spoke about that story about his granddad a little while ago on this show, but it will be a tactic tonight for Albion, won't it, to try and quieten the crowd down, not give anything away early on. Albion have fallen foul here in previous years. You think back to, 2019 in March, when Pablo Hernandez scored after 13 seconds, and Albion just could not get going that night.
No, that's right. And he'll know how important this crowd is, like you said, Jez. And already we see him out the dugout, and he's put his hands up, calm down, keep it calm, keep it, not wasting time, just keep it calm, move the ball like they did earlier in that little passage of play. Because they won't like that, the Leeds fans. They'll want to, all guns blazing. Like you said, they've been used to that Bielsa style. And you can still see signs of that now, where they're closing down, high tempo. And Daniel Farker will have it like that as well.
Here is Pascal Struijk on the ball at the back for Leeds. Square across to Joe Rodon. Here is the Wales international driving into midfield. He's taken a heavy touch, manages to poke the ball away from Wallace and Malumbi and Yukuzlu. Now Byram over to the left-hand side. Here's Dan James looking to run at Darnell Furlong on the outside. Cross comes in. It's Furlong. It's behind for the first corner of the night. 9.5 minutes into the game. Still goalless on WBA radio, but Leeds looking to score the first of the night here.
Yeah, you can't leave Furlong isolated with Dan James out there. He's so quick. I mean, Darnell's not a slouch, but he's lightning.
And it looks as though it will be Dan James to take. Leeds might have a 2v1 if they choose to take it, but it's coming to the near post, flick towards goal as well by Ampadu, but flick behind in the end by the Wales midfielder.
A couple of fans behind us jumped up out their seats. I was a little bit like that myself. It looked like it had gone in, didn't it, from here? Very, very poor corner from Dan James.
Well, he's tried to pick out Ampadu at the front post, hasn't he? But Albion passing it out on the edge of their own 6-yard box. Palmer into Kipre, and then Palmer into midfield, and Okay Yukuzlu, who turns past Jorginho Ruta. And then out to the left-hand side into Eric Peters. Swift with a clever turn to get away from his man.
Oh, it's a good run
Here
from
is
Phillips.
Swift trying to slide it through towards Matt Phillips. Cut out. Little dink from Thomas Asante. Gives it back to John Swift on this left-hand side.
There's bodies in there.
Here is the Albion number 19, Yukuzlu. Back to Swift once more. Albion forced backwards. And now Swift switching the play. What a pass that is out towards Darnell Furlong. Headed away by Sam Byram. Up into the air. Furlong will jump and beat Byram to the ball. Furlong tries to go on the outside, but cut out by Byram. Good defending from the Leeds fullback, and it will be a throw to the home side right by the corner flag.
Good play there. I mean, John Swift, that's a great turn right in front of us here, and that's where we see what they've done. Asante and Matty Phillips, they just kind of do a switch like the old scissor movement. Great run from Phillips, and I tell you what, John Swift's not far away from threading that through the eye of a needle into his path, and if he lands there, he's got a one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Here's Malumbi. Out on the right-hand side for West Bromwich Albion. Gets on his bike here, Malumbi, trying to get to the byline. And has he won his side a corner? No, it's a goal kick. Unfortunate there, Jason Malumbi. 3v1 for the majority of that time that he had possession of the ball.
I think that's probably one of his first touches tonight, Malumbi, isn't it? It's not really been a game where, you know, there's not been any tackles flying in or any real closing down or anything like that at the moment for Jason Malumbi to do, but he does ever so well there when he picks the ball up.
Approaching the 13th minute here on WBA radio. Friday night football from West Yorkshire, live from Ellen Road, where Leeds and Albion are currently drawing 0-0 in the early stages here as Ampadu plays it in towards Shackleton, and then Ampadu over the top. Furlong will intercept that one in the right wing-back position before rolling it to Alex Palmer.
Look
out
at
to the
Leeds,
edge of the box. It goes to Cedric Kipre, and he's put under pressure there by Ruta, and he's pushed by the Frenchman. Albion will have a free kick. He does come across Cedric Kipre like he is giving strikers opportunities, Andy, but he is just one of those players that has just a really relaxed style about him on the pitch.
I mean, in fairness, the ball to him was a bit slow. He never had any other choice than to try and let it come across his body. Either that or smash it up the pitch as far as he could, which is probably the option I would have taken. But in fairness to him, he does well. He gets his body in between the ball and his man and draws the free kick. I mean, you know, we've got to adapt ourselves to the way that, you know, football's gone. We're going to play out from the back whether we like it or not, you know, and we do it at times when I don't think it's necessarily necessary, but it's the way football is. So there's going to be times where you give the other team a chance.
Well, Matt Phillips penalised for a foul on Luke Ayling. Looked a soft one, that.
Yeah,
Ayling probably just did enough to convince the referee there was enough in that to award the home side a free kick, which Roden takes quickly and rolls it back to Ilya Meslier. He hasn't had the happiest of times at Leeds United. Was dropped by Sam Allardyce at the back end of last season. Over 125 appearances for Leeds, but he's on 13 games without the clean sheets. February the 25th against another relegated side, Southampton, when they won 1-0 here, Leeds. They have had a problem in terms of shipping goals, Andy, and Albion will try and capitalise on that tonight when they get opportunities.
Well, we said it, didn't we? You know, at the top of the show, and you're not going to get a better time to play a Leeds side here at Elland Road this season. You know, they really have got problems behind the scenes with players. You know, they can't field a bench full of subs. That's how bad it is.
There is Meslier out to the right-hand side, and Ayling headed forward by the Leeds skipper, but cleared by Eric Peters. Leeds win the ball back, and it's back with Ayling on the right. And now Joe Rodon back to Meslier, puts his foot through the ball over the halfway line. It goes up towards Jorginho Ruta, and the offside flag is up against the Frenchman as Kipre tries to take a quick one. It's blocked by Joe Gelhardt, who stepped in front of the ball. You can't do it, Andy.
No.
It's very soft. It
is, but I just didn't expect him to book him for some reason.
This is a yellow card.
Don't get me wrong, I agree with it. Should have been a red.
Oh, don't lose it there. Just dithered on the ball. And Leeds have won it. It's Archie Gray out to the right-hand side. Here comes Shackleton, crosses it towards the edge of the penalty area, and it's a striker goal. It's a good save from Alex Palmer down low to his left-hand side, and a big palm from Palmer to stop the ball nestling in the back of the net. Well, it was Albion's own doing there, losing the ball in midfield. So many of the goals that Albion have conceded this season, Andy, have come from us losing possession of the ball.
Yeah,
it almost happened again there.
Individual errors, hasn't it? I mean, the lad Gray's done us a favour. He's gone the wrong way. To me, he's got to play that down the left-hand side. He's got three bodies there.
Here come Leeds on the edge of the penalty area. It's headed away by Shemi Ajayi. And then Jed Wallace takes it down.
Help him.
Barged out the way. It's 3v1 there, Jed Wallace. Now it's played through towards Jorginho Ruta, intercepted by Jason Malumbi and slapped forward by Alex Palmer.
Great save from Palmer. You've got to say, he gets down low, it's close to his body. Always difficult for goalkeepers when it's that close to their body. Certainly to save it with their hands. I mean, go with their feet, yeah.
Here is Ampadu, receives it off Meslier, and Ampadu rolls it into Joe Rodon. Well, they were 2-0 down here on the opening day. Leeds United against Cardiff City. They needed a 90th minute leveller from Cooper, the giant centre-half who was absent tonight. Sorry, it wasn't Cooper. It was his goal that got them back into the game.
Got to be offside, surely.
There's an offside flag that comes up on this near side against Jorginho Ruta. That will be a free kick. It was Somerville who scored the equalising goal on the opening day against Cardiff. Well, 16.5 minutes gone. Still goalless between the Whites and the Baggies on what is match day 3 in the Sky Bet Championship. You'd argue, Andy, this is Albion's first big test against a big team in this division.
Yeah, it is, and we're on a little bit of a hide into nothing, because if we go and win it, they'll say, well, it's not a real Leeds side, you know. It's a real difficult one, isn't it? But yeah, certainly the biggest club we've played so far this season, by far. Go on then, he's in.
Away. Albion have bodies over here. Thomas Asante to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Matt Phillips delivers towards the back post, and Thomas Asante trying to meet it at the back post. Well, it skimmed the top of Brandon Thomas Asante's head, but he couldn't jump high enough to get up and over the ball, and it drifts on through for a goal kick to Leeds United. It was good defending from the recovering Leeds defender. I think it was Ampadu. It just put Thomas Asante off a little bit there.
Yeah, he's got a slight arm in his back. I just didn't know whether it's not enough for a penalty, nowhere near, but just like you said, just does enough. Just lets him know he's there, puts him off balance. Good break.
Pascal Struijk making his 100th Leeds appearance tonight, the Dutchman.
I mean, Luke Ayling out here on this right-hand side in front of us, Jez. I don't think he's touched the ball yet, and he's made some fantastic runs, and it just keeps getting ignored. I don't know if he's upset the rest of the team, I don't know.
Here's Meslier out towards Gray, who clips it away from John Swift, and Swift gets a toe on it. Out it goes for a throw. Archie Gray, the academy graduate, just 17 years of age.
Yeah, I played with his dad, Andy, at Forest. Long history of football in their family.
Here is Ayling, who has Gray square to his left-hand side. Ayling needs some help here. Tucks it down the line towards Jorginho Ruta. Hits his shoulder. And out for a throw to Albion it goes. It's been a miserable spell so far for Jorginho Ruta in England. This is just his second league start having joined for £36 million from Hoffenheim.
Wow. I bet they wouldn't get 2 million for him now.
That was the money they were spending last year to try and stay in the division. Fell short, Leeds United.
Well, if you're spending it on that. Oh.
There's Palmer into midfield. Clever touch from Malumbi. Back to the left it goes to Eric Peters, left back position. Still inside his own half. Malumbi through Gelhardt and Rutter to Okay Yukuzlu, who sprays it to the right. Now here's Furlong, steps on the ball on the halfway line and goes backward to the Nigerian defender Ajayi. He's got Kipri square. In field it goes to Jason Malumbi, who turns, tries to clip it over the top. It's a lovely looking ball as well to the right hand side. Here's Furlong, first time cross in towards Matt Phillips. It's gone past him. Thomas Asante was sliding in too. Albion couldn't turn it in. They've kept it alive back from where it came with Wallace, and then a deep cross from Ajayi towards John Swift, takes it down on his thigh. Swift goes backwards to Okay Yukuzlu, and now Yukuzlu to the halfway line, and Peters. What a ball in that was from Darnell Furlong.
Great ball, and Asante was nearly on the end of it, wasn't he? He threw himself at it.
Well, initially it looked like Matt Phillips might be able to connect. He had a man marking him, Joe Roden throwing himself in front of the ball, and Phillips. And then Brandon Thomas Asante just beaten to it.
Hits Asante on the head
by Ayling.
Just looking at the replay. It comes off Ayling onto Asante. Jed Wallace does well to keep the ball alive. It's a good break.
Here is Ampadu. He's dispossessed on the right hand side. Jed Wallace trying to get the crossing now, cleared away by Ayling. Terrible clearance. Malumbi and then tried to find Jed Wallace. He was coming back from an offside position, and that will be a goal kick to Leeds United. But Albion's certainly looking bright down the flanks, Andy, especially over on that right hand side with Furlong and Wallace. Yeah, good signs. Very, very good signs. As you said, certainly down that right hand side. Furlong's playing so high. Yeah, I mean, look, that's how we're set up now. There's 5 at the back, but when we've got possession, Phillips and Furlong, they're playing like wingers. They really are. Here is Joe Roden into midfield, and Gray forward. He's giving the ball away. Phillips stepping in to win it back for Albion.
What a boy's offside.
Jed Wallace chases it in behind, and the flag comes up.
It's a gnats away as well.
Against Albion, skipper down the left-hand side of the penalty area. So unlucky. It's a great break from Matty Phillips. Yeah, he's probably 2 or 3 yards at least, Andy. Seeing it back on the monitor in front of us.
We've got big gnats where we live.
Midway through this first half, still goalless on WBA radio here at Ellen Road. Leeds United and West Bromwich Albion. The first meeting between these two clubs since the final day of the 2020-2021 Premier League campaign, when Leeds beat an already relegated Albion 3-1 here. Here is Joe Gelhardt, left-hand side of the pitch, 30 yards away from the corner flag. Now here's Sam Byron, drives inside, Leeds win a free kick. It's a handball against Jason Malumbi. Getting the boys from the back forward as well. It's clear from Malumbi.
I thought he sort of flicked it up onto him, but he didn't. He's
deliberate.
He's put his hand out, hasn't he?
Deliberate from the Irishman there.
Yeah.
And defending for Albion to do.
Well, we didn't defend great, did we, against Swansea? Be interesting to see if we do a bit better tonight. Well, we have to do a bit better. There's no ifs or buts about it. Got to attack the ball.
Going to be played short and then clipped forward by Gray, headed away by Cedric Kipre. And look at this, Albion have an opportunity to counter. John Swift has Matt Phillips moving ahead of him, but played it backwards to Peters, who goes down under the challenge of Jorginho Rutter. Albion win the free kick, and Swift very quickly gives it to Kipre. Could he have played that forward there to Matty Phillips, Andy? John Swift. He was busting a gut to get forward.
Yeah, I think he probably could, Once he comes to Peters, I think Peters does ever so well.
Here come Albion down the right flank this time. Furlong into Wallace. Now Furlong once more. He's got Malumbi in behind. Furlong tries to go past 2 Leeds players, runs into one of them, and Leeds come away with the ball, and that's a foul by Jason Malumbi and Dan James.
This referee's picking up everything, and I want to see the game flow a little bit. Is that a foul? I mean, it doesn't look like it from here. I think Malumbi's he's in full flight when James cuts across him. Again, he's picking up on. It's 2 yards away from where it happened. Let the game flow.
Here is Pascal Struijk. Out to the left-hand side. Now Sam Byram. Goes backwards to Dan James. He's the former Man United man over the top, looking for the run of Joe Gelhardt in behind. Kipre comes across and keeps the ball in play. Cedric Kipre does well, clears it forward, clears it into Jorginho Ruta. That will be a throw for Albion over on the right-hand side.
Yeah, he does do well, Kipre there. Ball in behind the J. He just comes across, gets his body in, defends it well.
Here's Furlong into Yukuşlu, back to Furlong. He clips it forward over the head of Jed Wallace. Thomas Asante passes it to Jed Wallace, who goes through the legs of a Leeds man, but then runs into a second body, and the home side have it back. Here's Shackleton in the middle. Ayling square across towards Pascal Struijk on the halfway line. Every Albion player behind the ball. And now it's played down the line towards Gelhardt. Holds the ball up. He's got Shemi Ajayi on his back. And Gelhardt goes backwards. Now Struijk. Roden inside the centre circle. Pascal Struijk again. And now Ampadu. Square ball to Roden. Good ball in behind towards Shackleton. Edge of the penalty area. Shackleton will shoot. Oh, it takes a deflection. It's hit the post and cleared away by Shemi Ajayi. Well, that would have been so cruel on West Bromwich Albion. And I think it's even hit Jorginho Ruta on its way through. Well, a great little ball through there from Joe Roden into Shackleton. Shackleton shoots and it hits the instep of Jorginho Ruta completely wrong foot. Palmer.
I think it's Kipre. I think it comes off Kipre last and hits the post. That would have been so cruel. So cruel.
Well, Leeds have won a corner here.
It would have been cruel, but you can't allow them the time on the edge of the penalty area like that to turn and have a free shot. Oh, God, we've got to get closer and defend up against that.
Well, it's going to be a corner taken from this right-hand side. It's going to be an outswinging delivery by the number 20, Dan James. In it comes towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Palmer comes and then stays where he is, and it's a shot at goal at the back post, which is cleared away. Well, I think it was Pascal Struijk trying to divert it home for Leeds United. Palmer was just undecided there, Andy, and Struijk potentially could have done better. It hits the back heel of I think it was Jason Malumbi, and it's either one of Malumbi or Furlong. Albion get away with it, but Leeds just starting to grow into this one.
Yeah, they are. I think John Swift's got him, or should have him, but he's nowhere near him, John Swift. He stood there watching. And this is the problem. We can't switch off from dead ball situations. Got to mark your man. If we're doing man marking, you've got to mark your man. If he scores, it's your fault. If we're doing zonal marking, then defend your zone. But you've got to stay alive from these set pieces.
There's Joe Gelhardt receives the ball off Meslier and gives it straight back to him. Meslier out to the left-hand side of the back two, and Pascal Struijk inside to Ampadu. Spent the last 2 years in Italy, Ethan Ampadu, with Venezia and Spezia. He was playing at Sheffield United before that. The former Chelsea and Exeter City man. Never really got a chance at Chelsea, and here he is plying his trade in the Championship with Leeds United now. Meslier on the edge of the D.
It's not really been the electrifying classic that we were hoping, has it? It's been a bit like everyone's feeling each other out a little bit, very tactical. Everyone's a little bit scared to show their hand a bit early.
Here's Ampadu. Now Sam Byram over to the left-hand side. Dan James under a watchful eye of Darnell Furlong. Leeds spread the ball back out towards this near right touchline in front of the two dugouts. Carlos Corberán, Daniel Farke, both out on the edge of it. Carlos Corberán needs to be careful. You get a yellow card for that now if you come out of your technical area. Good work from Oko Yukuşlu to win the ball back for Albion. Just inside the Leeds half. Yukuşlu twisting and turning. And gives it back to Eric Peters. Peters finds the Turkish midfielder again. It's so in control of the ball, but then Albion lose it. Malumbi just caught the wrong side there by Dan James. He's furious with his teammates for not giving him the shout from
he is. And I don't blame him.
Pulls down James, free kick for Leeds and a yellow card for Malumbi.
I mean, we've said it many times, it's easier up here. We could see that coming. It was like a train crash in slow motion. Okay, Kuzlu's fizzed the ball into Malumbi. He's obviously not told him anything because Malumbi thinks he's got all the time in the world, and you would do unless you get a call. And Malumbi's put his hands out and said, come on, help me out here. Fizz the ball into me. You've got to give me a shout on it.
Andy, you played the game in the middle of the park. You do not want that pass there, do you?
But not with a man like that, unless you've got to, it's okay to use him as a wall, bounce it off him, but, just give the kid some information. You're going to get him killed out there. Now Malumbi's on a yellow card with what? 20... So I've got my glass on.
60 minutes to go.
Yeah. 30 minutes gone, 60 minutes to go, and he's on a yellow card. And the way and style he plays, that's going to be a long 60 minutes.
Oh, it's a ball into the box.
Look at this, no talking again.
Well, I think there was talking there, Andy. Alex Palmer obviously gave the shout to let the ball just run through. It was Peters and Kipre at the back, two Leeds United players inside the penalty area, but neither of them were going to make contact with the ball. So if there was a shout, Andy,
well, it's late.
It was Kipre, Phillips, and Peters.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Peters has thrown his arm up at Alex Palmer, so maybe there wasn't a shout. From here, to me, it looked like it was a good call, but clearly there wasn't a call.
Yeah.
Albion were fortunate that it just looked that way.
He's made the old gesture, open your mouth. Talking's so important on a football pitch. Oh, no.
Oh, Kuzlu dispossessed by Shackleton. Mate, for the first time in this game. Here's Dan James up towards the edge of the penalty area. James has players with him. James looking to shoot, delivers it towards the back post. Ayling, and now a strike at goal from 8 yards out from Joe Gelhardt, poking the ball towards goal, but couldn't find the target. It drifts on wide, but Albion, sooner rather than later, Andy, are going to pay for losing the ball in the opposition's final third. We've seen it happen already this season 3 or 4 times. They're going to fall foul of it again tonight if they don't sort themselves out quickly.
Well, we're killing ourselves, aren't we? OK, we're going to play it from the back. We all know that. We all accept that. You've got to give information on the pass. Again, the ball comes into Kuzlu. There's no information as far as I can see. No one said man on. Kuzlu's been caught 2 or 3 times tonight now already. Look, I love the kid. I think he's a great player. But you've got to talk. You've got to talk out there. At the moment, they're like strangers. And sooner or later, I mean, that's twice now we've been lucky. They've got to get to grips with the game out there.
We'll throw for Leeds.
I don't think we'll be that lucky again if they give them another chance. I tell you.
That's what, 3 or 4 times now in the game already, Andy.
Yeah.
And what it's also doing off the pitch as well, it's getting these Leeds fans back into the game once again.
It is, although all you can hear is the backing fans at the moment. They're over there having the time of their lives. They obviously like the Friday night under the lights as well.
There is Kipre, plays it forward, headed even further forward by Shemi Ajayi up into the air, which Kuzlu jumps for. Now Malumbi hits it long towards Thomas Asante. He's looked like an isolated figure so far in this game. Albion put the pressure on Leeds. Joe Rodon back to Meslier, hits it long into the corner. One for Shackleton to chase Eric Peters down. Peters does well, sees it out over the line, throw for West Bromwich Albion. And now the Leeds fans turn up the decibels.
Yeah, I know, but that's only because we're sat amongst them. If we were over there with the baggage lot, look at them all, every single one of them on their feet.
Carlos Corbrand said that this can be an intimidating to play. Yeah. But it also can be a place where away teams can come and be motivated by this kind of atmosphere. You don't get this every week in the Championship, Andy.
No,
you probably get it, 3 or 4 times a season to this level. Leeds United. You get it at most grounds, in a 5-10 minute spell when the home team are on top. But not like this for the majority of the game.
Yeah, that's right.
Here is Cedric Kipre. Now Shemi Ajayi. Into Kipre again. Ajayi plays it forward to Eric Peters. Cushion pass inside to Okay Kuzlu. Now Brandon Thomas Asante falls over in the middle of the park. Wins his side a free kick. And Albion get on with it quickly. And Malumbi. Here's Furlong. Right hand side. Plenty of bodies inside the box as Furlong delivers, but it's over the crossbar. Out behind for a goal kick delivery. It's got to be better. It's probably Furlong's poorest one of the night.
Yeah.
His couple previous have been pretty good.
Oh, they have been. Yeah, definitely.
Albion, what they won't want to be tonight, Andy, when they get into the final third, is wasteful.
No, and I don't think he's ready to cross the ball there for long. I don't think he's got the bodies in the box to cross the ball either. It needs another pass, put another pass in, give the lads a chance to get into the area. Wow.
There's Roden, long big kick from him. Very long.
Yeah.
Too long. Straight through to Palmer it goes. Here is Cedric Kipre as we approach the final 10 minutes of this first half here at Ellen Road. There is Yukuzlu over the top for John Swift. He's got two players on him. One is Archie Gray, the other is Joe Roden. Roden gets there first and rolls it to Ilian Meslier inside his own 6-yard box. Meslier with a poor kick, then Yukuzlu with a poor pass. Hits his knee and ricochets out towards Dan James, and James quick to spread the ball across to Ayling on this right hand side. Leeds trying to come forward at pace. Joe Gelhardt 30 yards away from goal. Gelhardt tries to play a 1-2. Malumbi steps in to win it back, and then Yukuzlu through towards John Swift. Swift is beaten to the ball by Gray, but Gray's pass is loose, and now Furlong has it on the right hand side. That's 2 or 3 times I've ignored Matt Phillips, Andy, and all it is is just lifting the head.
Yeah, it certainly is. Like we said, sat here just easy. You can see everything, can't we? You know, it's difficult out there. I feel for Thomas Asante a little bit. You mentioned it earlier. Isolated was the word you used, and he is a little bit isolated up there. The gaps between him and the next player are that big that when the ball's coming up to him, it's generally a ball that he's got to fight for. And even if he does get it under control, he's got no chance.
There's Phillips, Thomas Asante, Swift, nice that from Albion. They work it to Phillips on the left-hand side, but Phillips goes past his man Ayling, and he's got a chance now to deliver 2 inside the box. Phillips towards Furlong on the stretch, and he connected with it, but not cleanly. And it scuffs over the line out for a goal kick to Leeds United, but lovely intricate football there involving Thomas Asante and I think it was John Swift.
Luke Ayling just falls over in front of him, doesn't he? What a ball that is from Matty Phillips on his left hand with his left foot as well.
Always going to be a difficult one for Darnell Furlong at the back post.
Yeah, he's on the stretch, isn't he? But that's what I was just saying about Asante being isolated. As soon as you get bodies round him, they play a lovely little 1-2, little triangles. It's a great ball from Matty.
Yukuzlu, Phillips inside. He's giving the ball away, and Leeds can come forward now with Roden. Good strong challenge from Cedric Kipre. And Roden has gone down holding his knee.
Yeah, I don't know why.
There was a heavy collision between he and Cedric Kipre.
Well, it was a great tackle. Great tackle from Kipre.
I tell you what, you wouldn't want to be in the middle of that sandwich, would you?
I don't know. I like being in the middle of any sandwich I do.
Two powerful centre halves going head to head there. Joe Roden, who was in France last year at Stade Rennais, played just over a dozen league games. 25-year-old hoping to settle here on loan for the season. Hasn't really got going at Spurs since his move from Swansea City. Played all 3 games for Wales at the World Cup. There is Malumbi. Back to Cedric Kipre inside his own penalty area. Albion yet to test Ilian Meslier, but maybe with a bit more luck they may well have connected with one of the crosses that have come in from both flanks, Andy.
Yeah, not been far away.
Here come Leeds. Dan James driving through the middle. Now Shackleton 30 yards away from goal. Shackleton edging to the right hand side. Now here's Luke Ayling in line with the right hand side of the box. Out to the left, Gelhardt. Here is, sorry, not the left, the right. Now Shackleton plays it down the line. It's Dan James swapping wings to come across, and it's a good, strong challenge from Matt Phillips. Peters can't keep the ball from just drifting over the white line. It will be a throw for Leeds right by the corner flag down in front of the corner where the Albion fans are housed.
Yeah, again, Leeds trying to pen us into the corner there. I mean, I'm beginning to think that perhaps Matt is playing to try and stop Luke Ayling.
Here is Ayling on the ball. Plays it inside and plays a 1-2 into the penalty area. He goes. Great challenge that from Makar Yukuzlu. And now Swift down the line towards Thomas Asante. Archie Gray steps in, wins the ball back for Leeds, but at the expense of conceding a throw. And Albion will take their time. It's all about now, Andy, getting through to half-time, assessing how the first half has gone with just over 5 minutes to go in it.
Yeah, can't see there being much extra time, can you? There's really been a lot of stoppage.
Well, there's barely been any stoppages. As Peters throws it backwards to Cedric Kipre, who switches the ball across to Furlong. Great pass from him. Furlong heads it inside, but it's won by Ethan Ampadu. Nods it out to the left, and Dan James. He's got 2 Albion players on his back here. Dan James, make that 3, make that 4. Dan James trying to drive through, ends up on the floor. The referee happy to let play continue. And now Thomas Asante holding the ball up for Albion. Does well to slide it through, but unlucky. Intercepting that ball was Sam Byram on the slide on the halfway line, as Thomas Asante tried to get Jed Wallace straight through on goal through the middle.
Yeah, decent. Does well. Asante, like you said, was a little bit isolated up there. Like to see Wallace in the game a little bit more. Not been in the game quite as much as I'd like. He's trying. I mean, he's chasing now. He's come inside. But we're just not using him as much as we'd like to see.
Here's Byram into Dan James again. Now here is Ethan Ampadu inside the centre circle. Every Albion player behind the ball as they look to try and keep Leeds United out before the half-time whistle. Still 5 minutes to go. Sam Byram, left-hand side. 10 yards in from the left-hand touchline. He's given the ball away, and the Nakao Yukushlu gives it away cheaply. Puts his hands on his head, apologises to his teammates. Leeds have a throw, which they take quickly. Now here's Gelhardt. Ajayi tries to nip in and win it, but Leeds keep possession of the ball on the left-hand side. It's all very tight and crowded over on that left touchline. Played back inside towards Ampadu, who tries to get the cross in, headed up into the air by Eric Peters. Ajayi leaves it, Kipre leaves it, and Palmer comes out to catch it once it's bounced up once in the air off the floor.
Better from Palmer. A bit more commanding, a little bit more talking.
Well, no goals so far. The 11 meetings this century have produced 40 goals, and at least one team has scored at least 3 in 8 of those 11 games between West Bromwich Albion and Leeds United. Leeds have won the last 3 here at Ellen Road, scoring 8 goals to Albion's 1. You have to go back to January 2007 to find the last Baggies victory at Ellen Road, a 3-2 triumph. Tori-Andre Flo and Alan Thompson scoring for Leeds United. They're proper throwback names, aren't they, Andy?
I don't know, I can go back a bit further than that. I remember playing there against Tony Dorigo, would it be? David Batty was here.
Jonathan Greening and Diamanti Kamara with 2 for Albion that afternoon. One of Kamara's goals was an absolute
I remember it.
Yards,
I remember it. Yeah.
Am I right in saying, Andy, that you played against Gordon Strachan here the once? And
I did.
He gave you a stern warning.
No, David Batty gave me the warning.
Was it David Batty?
It was my 18th birthday. It was Leeds were champions of the last old First Division, and they'd obviously had a couple of drinks that week to celebrate, and I must have caught Mr. Batty with my arm as I jumped up for a ball, and he told me if I went near him again he'd kill me. So I said, OK, sorry Mr. Batty, and left him alone. Yeah, it was Gary McAllister that said, come here young man, just you stay away from him, you come and play next to me, I won't come near you, and you don't come near me because I'm still a little bit drunk.
He's offside. Over the top towards Furlong. Flag stays down for now. Furlong gets to the ball before it goes over the line. Holds it up by the corner flag. Into Jed Wallace. Wallace trying to chip his way through. It's come off a Leeds man.
No, it's not.
And Albion have their first corner of the evening. It's taken 42 minutes and 50 seconds.
What a time to score.
But with 2 minutes to go before the break, this would be a welcome time to score the game's opening goal.
I'm just waiting to see if they're going to show back. It looked offside to me, to be honest, at first glance. But I mean, the referee's the linesman's a lot closer than I am. Plus, I've got a pillar in the way.
Well, it will be John Swift to deliver over on the right-hand side. An out-swinging delivery. Albion scored from 3 set pieces last weekend. Swift in towards Ajayi. It's headed away. Will come as far as Peters, who takes one touch, lifts it back in. Out towards John Swift. It's a really clever ball from Eric Peters. Here is Swift, 1v1 over on that right-hand side. Gelhardt comes to help out now. Swift twisting and turning. Comes off John Swift, laughs, keeps the ball in play. It's backwards towards Jason Malumbi. Gets to the byline, twisting and turning. Trying to make something happen for his team. Crowded out Malumbi, and eventually Leeds United take the ball back off him, and it's played forward towards Jorginho Rutter, who can turn. Eric Peters lets him turn, and Leeds come forward over the halfway line. They've got a chance to break on the left flank now. White shirts marauding forward, but the man in possession holds on to it. I think it was Gelhardt there.
Yeah. In fairness, he never had a lot to do. You've got to credit us. We've got back into our shape so quickly there. He had no choice. I mean, the Leeds fans are moaning about playing it forward, but to who? He never really had anybody to go to.
Here come Leeds. Here is Rutter, edge of the penalty area, slides it through. It's Byram, cross comes in, takes a deflection up into the air, and Palmer claims it on the edge of the 6-yard box.
I'll tell you what, there's a clash between Furlong and one of their players there.
Well, it's Dan James on the floor again. Not for the first time this afternoon, or this evening, sorry. Dan James has been caught by Furlong and Malumbi.
I mean, it was off the ball, I think.
Well, there's only 20 seconds of normal time to go in this first half, but with Dan James on the floor, Carlos Corberán has called a few of his players over. It's James back up to his feet now, walks back into position over on the left-hand side. Just 1 minute of time to be played at the end of the opening period here in West Yorkshire. Leeds United would argue that they've shaded proceedings without taking the lead. They've hit the post from a cruel deflection that could have been oh so cruel on Albion. Jorginho Rutter trying to get involved in the game. Alex Palmer's also made a good save. Here come Albion at the other end, who fizzed a couple of crosses across the face of goal, but nothing really yet for Ilian Meslier to do. And they'll want to change that in the second half, Andy.
Yeah, they will, but you know, they've got to be. I think he's good tactically. I think he's getting it right at the minute, Carlos Corberán. I mean, the longer the game goes on, the more Leeds will commit for the win and you know, gamble and get players forward, and we can catch them on the counter-attack.
You snap your hand off a 0-0 at half-time, wouldn't you, before kick-off?
Yeah, I think you would. I think Leeds away, you'd come to Ellen Road and take a draw all day long anyway.
Well, there is the half-time whistle. Goalless at the break between Leeds United and West Bromwich Albion. It's been tight. Leeds have hit the post and Palmer's made a good save. Albion yet to force Ilian Meslier into anything of note. They fizzed a couple of crosses from the left and the right-hand side across the face of the 6-yard box, but haven't managed to connect with anything. And at the half-time stage here at Ellen Road, it is Leeds United 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Welcome back to Ellen Road, where we are all set for the second half. Leeds 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. It was a half that Leeds probably shaded. They hit the post and forced Alex Palmer into a good save. Albion yet to test Ilian Meslier. You get the feeling, Andy, that Albion are just waiting for the right moment to counter, but they've got to be careful they don't lose possession in the Leeds attacking third of the pitch. They've been guilty of it 2 or 3 times already tonight. Yeah, and they've been guilty of it, unfortunately, 2 or 3 times already this season when it has led to an opposition goal.
Well, that's obviously the tactic, isn't it? I mean, to drag the game out to 0-0 as long as we can, hope that this Leeds team go for it, overcommit players and leave themselves vulnerable to the counter-attack. You know, we've seen it a couple of times, you know, where we've got down the right-hand side. But the longer the game goes on, the more Leeds are going to commit bodies forward. They have to try and win this game, Leeds.
Well, Leeds shooting from right to left in this second half towards the Dunrevy stand. Albion attacking the end towards where their fans are housed, into the corner on the side of the pitch. In the well, I guess you'd call it the main stand here at Leeds. It feels a little bit silly saying that, given the size of the structure that is opposite us. There's the ball in behind towards Brandon Thomas Asante. Out comes Ilian Meslier. Lovely ball slipped down the side.
Yeah, it wasn't far away, was it?
The French goalkeeper quick out of the blocks there. to prevent Brandon Thomas Asante even getting a sniff of goal under.
Yeah, it was a lovely little ball. That's what he thrives on, Asante. The little ball slid down the side of him. You don't want to be fighting with big centre-halves backing in. He wants to be turning and going the other way.
There's a ball over the top. Furlong heads it away. Falls to Joe Gelhardt. Slides it through. Here's Dan James. Flag stays down. Left-hand side for Leeds. James gets the cross in, and now the flag comes up.
I don't get that rule at all. If he's offside, he's offside. You know, if you've got VAR, fair enough. Let it play out if it's close. But we haven't. You know, if he's offside, then give it offside, because it's a really interesting point, Andy, isn't it? We were having this discussion in the office with some of the club's medical staff earlier in the week, and they were saying that so many injuries will come of this. Yeah, of course.
I think Tyrone Mings, his knee injury that he suffered for Aston Villa against Newcastle United was as a result of the linesman not putting the flag up until the end of that passage of play. And they were saying, if it's clear and obvious, just put the flag up. Yeah, and 100%. If it's tight, let the game continue, especially in the Premier League as well, where there's VAR. Of course, it's different in the Championship where we don't have VAR, but it just seems like a middle ground, doesn't it? You can see why they do it. Yeah. So mistakes don't happen. But injuries are happening. They are. And, you know, players are going in one-on-one with the goalkeepers. Keepers are getting injured. Players are getting injured. You know, if he's offside, he's offside. If he's not, then let it play. I mean, like you said, now we haven't got VAR, so who's going to decide anyway? If the goal goes in, it goes in. Here's Cedric Kipre on the ball at the back for the Baggies. Square to Shemi Ajayi on this right-hand side. Albion looking to try and release Darnell Furlong as Ajayi plays it in behind. It's Jed Wallace who gives chase up against Sam Byram, and Jed Wallace forces him off the ball. It comes off the Albion skipper's toe last. I'd like to see more from Jed this half. It's not his fault why he's not been in the game. We just haven't got the ball out to him. You know, he's tried to get himself into the game, but just want to see a little bit more from him. It's a throw for Leeds right by the corner flag. Chucked down the line, Ajayi wins the header. Archie Gray is barged off it by Malumbi. And Okay Yekuzlu goes backwards to Cedric Kipre. Darnell Furlong has left Dan James in a heap on the floor yet again. I mean, he spends more time on the floor, Dan James, than he does anywhere else. Now Shemi Ajayi, 2 yards in from the right-hand touchline. He needs to run forward. He's got nothing forward. Here's Ajayi into Peters. Takes a heavy first touch, but keeps the ball in his grasp. Matt Phillips, down the line it goes. Who's it come off last? It's come off Phillips' lap. Up against Luke Ayling. I mean, Ajayi's got the ball there, and he's looking at everybody, and everyone wants to come to feet or go short. Nobody's spinning in behind, and that's what Matty Phillips gives you when he plays up front. He does go in behind. I don't know why Asante isn't. Just make the run in behind. It stretches that Leeds defence, stretches the team. It's easy to defend when it's all in front of you. Pascal Struijk with the ball at his feet for Leeds United, 15 yards inside his own half. Goes square to Joe Rodon. Now here is Gray, back to Rodon, all the way back to Meslier. Albion choosing the right moments to press, but Jed Wallace didn't get that one right. It was either he or Darnell Furlong, and Leeds play it through. It's Struijk looking for Gelhardt, cleared forward by Alex Palmer. Andy, it's basic, isn't it? If one goes, you've all got to go. Yeah, you can't close down on your own. And if it's not on, the man behind him has to shout to say stay, hold your position. Yeah, if one goes, you all go. Or if one goes and you don't feel it's ready, you just let him go on his own. That's how gaps appear. Yeah, you get caught out, 100%. Jed Wallace went there, and Furlong stayed. It was an easy one for Leeds to play the ball out around Jed Wallace. There is Meslier. Ball at his feet inside his own penalty area. That's better. Square pass. Albion pressing now as a unit. They've won the ball back. Matt Phillips. Yekuzlu. Lovely ball in behind. Thomas Asante. Only got Wallace inside the box. He comes to Jed Wallace. It's at the outside of the post. And Meslier gets a fingertip to it as well. Yeah, it's a great save. Albion's best moment of the night. And Jed Wallace, the captain, almost getting the first goal of the night. What a little ball that is round the corner from Malumbi. Wallace does great outside of the boot. Gets a lovely ball in from Asante. And Wallace, it's a save. That's a fantastic save from Meslier. Clips it up onto the well, it is the top corner of the post. Corner for Albion, swung in towards goal. Big header away from Joe Rodon. Eric Peters will give chase. 35 yards away from goal. Takes one touch, delivers it straight back into the box. Strauch heads it away this time.
Come on, keep it
Albion will keep the ball in play on this right-hand side. Malumbi takes one touch, tries to go inside. He's up against Sam Byram. Back to Jed Wallace. Wallace tries to drive now at Jorginho Rutter and Byram. Cross comes in from Wallace. Comes off the left back. And out for another corner to West Bromwich Albion. This time it'll be on the right-hand side.
Excellent start to the second half. Just as we were saying, Jez, you know, if one goes, you all go. This time they do all go, and we win the ball back over on the left-hand side. And excellent little bit of play. Cuts through Leeds. And a great effort from Jed Wallace. Got to say, fantastic pass from Asante.
John Swift to deliver. Ajayi the target. It's along the floor. It's not a great ball. It's bouncing around. Might come to Malumbi.
Oh, yes!
It's taking a deflection and gone in. And West Bromwich Albion lead at Ellen Road. It's Jason Malumbi who races away to celebrate. What a horrible deflection that was. Albion won't see it that way, but Leeds certainly will. And it's the visitors who strike first. Under the lights on Friday night football.
Well, we had it in the first half. We had Leeds, got a deflection, we got lucky, come back off the post. This time we get the deflection. It's a horrible corner. And sometimes they work because nobody's expecting you to shank one along the ground like that. But it's horrible. It comes in. I think it's Malumbi that reacts quickest. And first to the ball, it flips up and he hits it. Takes two deflections. I think it comes off Asante last. And nestles in the bottom corner. It don't matter how you get them. It's a good reaction from Malumbi. It pops up, hits it well. It is. It comes off Asante's thigh.
Well, has it come off his thigh or has it come off his arm? Brandon Thomas Asante. Well, Jason Malumbi will claim it. But it's definitely come off Thomas Asante, and I think it's definitely come off an arm, Andy. Albion with a huge slice of luck here at Ellen Road.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's off his arm. It's off his arm. Thank God we haven't got VAR. You can keep that.
Swift.
Oh, unlucky.
And Albion have the lead here.
Well, that's going to make it interesting. What are Leeds going to do now? Because we've sat relatively deep. You know, we haven't really attacked this Leeds team. We've soaked up the pressure. We've got the goal from a set piece. Didn't expect it this early, I've got to say. But what can this Leeds team do now to... What reaction are we going to get?
Here's Matt Phillips driving forward. Albion away down the left-hand side. Swift looking to deliver towards the back post. Furlong jumping, headed away by Sam Byram. And Malumbi chases after it. It has gone down as a Brandon Thomas Asante goal. Malumbi tries to get past Dan James. Albion have won a throw. And listen to that, Andy.
Quiet.
Silence.
Quiet across Ellen Road.
Very, very quiet, apart from a very noisy corner away to our right-hand side. There's only about 1,800 or so Albion fans. I say only, it's a terrific number to come up 3 hours on the motorway on a Friday night, but in the context of the overall attendance inside the stadium, Andy, a really small number, but they're the ones making all the noise at the moment as Furlong delivers towards Kipre at the back post. Might come through to Matt Phillips. It does. He can't get a strike at goal. Has to throw a few step-overs in over on that side against Ayling. Plays it backwards to Jed Wallace and now Eric Peters. And Albion have got
patient.
Something to hang on to.
Yeah, they've got to be patient now.
There's Peters towards Furlong. Good first touch from him.
Yeah, excellent.
Back to Malumbi. Don't forget, Andy, this is a Leeds team that is not the Leeds that we saw get promoted as league champions the year that Albion went up. This is a Leeds team that has been in disarray throughout the summer. It's a Leeds team that has seen several key players leave. It's a Leeds team that has seen several key players demanding a move and banished from the first team setup. This is a Leeds team that has not won in 11 league games.
Yeah,
and Shackleton picks up a yellow card for a foul in the middle.
But we said
against
that,
John Swift. This is an opportunity for Albion. We came here tonight expecting it to be an opportunity for Albion, and it's even more of one now. They've got themselves in.
It's a great chance. It's a great chance for us, and we said it before the game. This is the best time to play this Leeds team. The club's in utter chaos at the moment. Players wanting to leave. Players, you know, not playing, refusing to play.
Does well, gets past Ayling, gets the cross in, cleared by Sam Byram, edge of the 6-yard box. It's towards that front post again. It's over an Albion head, and Leeds are able to clear. Yukuzlu
it's a foul.
In towards Matt Phillips. He's barged off the ball fairly. Matt Phillips not happy. Free kick for Leeds. Ayling wrestling Matt Phillips to get the ball back.
A yellow card.
And it's a yellow card for the Albion number 10.
Well, it hasn't been a pretty game. It hasn't been particularly exciting. Who cares when you 1-0 up at Ellen Road?
1 win in 13 here for West Bromwich Albion. You've got to go back to the times when the man sat to my right-hand side, Andy, Tony Bomber Brown.
Yeah,
I'm going to give him a nudge now as well. You've got to go back to your time, Bomber, to find regular Albion wins at Ellen Road. Forget Andy Johnson's time, they were non-existent. He got red cards here.
There was cows in the field over there. That stand one there then. There was a cow shed, I think. He had bells around their necks.
But with 11 minutes gone in this second half, sorry. It's Albion who have their noses in front. And I'm sure if it stays the same, Andy, Leeds will be furious with that goal.
Well, they will be.
They'll be furious anyway.
Yeah, of course they will. I mean, you know, what I did say before, you know, this crowd, as good as they are when things are going well, they can be terrible when things are not going so well, Jez. And, you know, they're not going to put up with this for much longer. They really aren't. I mean, what's happening to their football club at the moment? It's just total upside down. Players leaving. You know, what a fall from grace.
Cedric Kipre over to Eric Peters. Now Palmer.
Oh, come on.
Shemi Ajayi out to Furlong. Furlong taking his time in possession. Goes backwards to Ajayi. Plays it into Malumbi, who lets it run through, but doesn't reach John Swift. Picked up by Archie Gray, who does well in the middle of the park for Leeds. Now here's Ampadu. A rare attack forward this for Leeds in this second half so far. 57.5 minutes gone. 1-0 Albion leads. Byram, few boos now from Leeds fans. We said this might happen, Andy. Got to try and frustrate the players and the crowd when you come to Ellen Road. There is Ajayi, clears the ball away. Throw for the home team.
Stay in the technical area, Gaffer.
Well, the fourth official is just having a word. Well, Albion have had Carlos Corberán sent off at Blackburn and Jorge Alacon booked in the home game against Swansea City.
They're so passionate, aren't they? So it's great to see, to be honest. He's got to keep that passion inside them white lines.
There's Strauch over towards Ayling, wins the header, cleared away by Eric Peters, and this will give Albion a chance to break forward. It's John Swift on the left-hand side, holds onto the ball, plays it infield to Matt Phillips. Swift is caught. Referee lets play continue, and now here's Malumbi in the middle, trying to switch the play, blocked off by Dan James, and Ampadu is the man to have it.
Offside.
And Gray tries to slip it through towards Jorginho Ruta. Flag stays down. Palmer comes out, kicks the ball forward. Brandon Thomas Asante jumps with Roden. Roden wins the header but goes straight to the middle of the park where only Albion players are waiting for it. Phillips then hits a wild one across towards Jed Wallace, and Jed Wallace just shakes his head at him.
Jed Wallace just puts his hand up and shakes his head and says, "What have you done that for?" Brilliant, Jed. Oh dear. But there, he's gone through and he's well offside, and he's chased Alex Palmer down, who boots the ball up in the air, and it makes it a free-for-all. But surely, if he's offside, that's got to be, you know, that's got to be given, because there's no advantage to us on that. I don't get these rules anymore.
What are they doing? The Albion goal back. Brandon Thomas Asante. It's got a touch of Jay Rodriguez against the Villa, Andy.
Yeah.
In 2018-19. Here come Leeds. Joe Roden over the halfway line. Square pass now into Gelhardt, who's free and acres of room. Pushes it further to the left, 30 yards away from goal. Dan James cuts in field, heads in towards the centre of the pitch, looking for Gelhardt. Kipre makes a strong challenge. Gelhardt goes down. He got something in the ball, but he definitely caught Gelhardt as well. The referee adamant, Matthew Donoghue, that should only be a corner.
Well, I'm going to, yeah. He does get the ball, you're right. I'll tell you what.
Well, as the referee just booked Dan James there.
I hope so.
I think he may well have done it.
Yeah, he does get the ball. But he does get the player as well, doesn't he? Thankfully, after the ball.
It's going to be Dan James, the Welshman, to deliver. But the referee keen to talk to a few players inside the 6-yard box. They're trying to crowd Alex Palmer. Eric Peters is the man being spoken to by Matthew Donoghue. He's marking Luke Ayling, the lead skipper. It will be James from the left-hand side. Leeds looking for a leveller. Here is James, right-footed towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's bouncing around, and Albion will be able to clear. Matt Phillips over the top. Just flips it over the halfway line.
Get him up.
And Albion happy to give up possession to pinch a few yards.
Yeah, defended that set piece really well.
There is Archie Gray over on the right-hand side. They work it backwards. Now here is Ethan Ampadu inside the centre circle, square to Pascal Struijk. He's got James lurking on the left-hand side. He goes infield to Ampadu, outside of the boot, ball stabbed across the pitch towards Shackleton. And now here's a chance for Ayling to deliver. Steps inside onto his left foot. Cross comes in. It's flicked towards goal. It's towards the near post. And it's hit the striker in front of goal, Dan James, and bounced away from Alex Palmer's near post.
Well, we've got away with one there. I mean, a couple of things. I mean, that's poor defending over on that. It's a flicker. It's got to be in the back of that. Dan James has missed an absolute sitter. Matt Phillips got to do better. As soon as the flick on comes, he kind of stubs his toe on it. Matt James, he gets a lovely little touch on it. Oh, and he gets it horribly wrong. Horribly, horribly wrong.
Well, Albion taking their time with this goal kick.
Yeah.
Palmer to the edge of the 6-yard box to Kipre, and then Kipre into Ajayi, and then Ajayi is sold. Wallace a little bit short. Ajayi wanted him to come and collect the ball. Here goes Dan James into the penalty area, runs into Okay Yukuşlu, who blasts it forward as far as Ampadu, 30 yards from goal. Ampadu trying to trick his way through, and he's caught by Okay Yukuşlu. Free kick to Leeds. About 26, 27 yards away from goal. About 10 yards left of centre in front of the Don Revie stand.
Ampadu's absolutely bought that. He's not in control of this whatsoever. He tries to do the little 1-2 with himself. The ball runs away from him.
Nah, Yukuşlu's caught him, Andy.
I know he's caught him, but
just on the top of the boot.
Is it enough? Is it enough, Jez?
Slightest of touches now is enough for the referee to give the decision, isn't it?
It's horrible, isn't it?
What colour are your glasses, Ender?
Well, they are tinted a little bit. But come on, Jez.
Free kick to Leeds.
Well, the young lad, Gray, fancies this, I think. He's put the ball down.
Well, there's two of them around it. Gray. And is it Shackleton or Gelhardt? I think it might be Gelhardt, straight to the wall. Albion block it. Comes back to the number 30, Joe Gelhardt. And here now is Shackleton out to the right-hand side. Luke Ayling for Leeds. They're looking for a route back into this game. Just over 25 minutes of normal time to go. Brandon Thomas-Asante's controversial goal, the difference so far in this encounter. Dan James down the line to the left-hand side. Here is Sam Byram coming forward from left fullback. Gray into the middle of the pitch, and Pascal Struijk. Leeds fairly advanced here. Now Ampadu, all very neat and tidy.
Great tackle.
Ayling is dispossessed. Now Brandon Thomas-Asante with great footwork to get away. Finds Jed Wallace. Wallace turns, and he's up against Struijk here, who gets to the ball first. And now here's James, who gives it backwards to Sam Byram. Certainly Leeds applying more and more pressure as the game continues, Andy. It's going to be a weather the storm kind of job for the next 25, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be. But like I said, are they going to overcommit? And can we catch them on the break? You know, there's always a good opportunity that we can get a second goal here. You know, they will overcommit, Leeds. They have to. They've got to go for it. You know, they're losing. Lose 2-0, lose 1-0. It's the same, but you've got to go for it.
Here is Struijk. Now, Joe Rodon. Ethan Ampadu out to the right-hand side, and Luke Ayling back to Ampadu once more. Trying to find a breakthrough here, Leeds, but Albion, they look so structured in their defensive shape, Andy, don't they?
Yeah, we do. But like I said at first half, we dropped back into that back five very, very quickly.
Here come Leeds. Good work over on that left-hand side. Drives into the penalty area here. Jamie Shackleton, but runs into John Swift doing the defensive work. Clears it away. Throw for Leeds United. I'm just wondering whether Carlos will be tempted to make a change, or whether he's happy for his charges to continue trying to keep Leeds.
I don't know. I mean,
out at the moment. He is calling
somebody up.
Jeremy Sarmiento. Here is Jorginho Rutter, gets past Eric Peters, but not past Matt Phillips. Now Jed Wallace is pushed in the back. No, referee lets play continue. Here come Leeds, 30 yards away from goal. Gelhardt, James will try and bend it.
What a save! What a save from Alex Palmer!
On the stretch.
That's as good as it gets.
A wonderful fingertip stop from Alex Palmer to keep the score at 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion.
Oh. What an absolute fantastic save. He goes with his other hand.
That's brilliant. That is absolutely exceptional from Palmer.
Yeah, different class. He's fallen a bit funny. I think it's his leg or his knee. He definitely clutches his right leg. Yeah, is he holding his knee or his ankle? So, but what a save that is. Just twice now in this game. He's kept us in it. Once in the first half. And now that is right out of the top drawer. Fantastic save. That was going in all the way.
Well, that's why he's so crucial to West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, look at that.
That's why the supporters were so delighted when the news came out that he wasn't joining Luton Town in the summer.
Yeah. And I'm included in one of them. I was over the moon when he wasn't joining.
Tell you what, Andy, I know it's only game 3, but that's a contender for save of the season from Alex Palmer.
Yeah, it is. You always know as well when you have to go with the other arm with goalkeepers, you know they're at full kilt, full stretch.
Well, thankfully he's back to his feet.
Yeah.
And Albion ready to defend this corner. Jeremy Sarmiento stripped and ready to come on, but
I don't know
defensive work to do first.
Who's he coming on for? I can't think. Jed Wallace maybe?
Out-swinging corner towards the edge of the 6-yard box, nodded away. Archie Gray will give chase and he rolls it back towards the halfway line. And Jamie Shackleton. Thomas Asante tries to win it back, but Leeds keep possession of the ball with Gray. Inside towards Shackleton, forced backwards by Jason Malumbi. On a yellow card, remember, Malumbi from that first half.
John Swift.
Now Strauch.
John Swift, I think he'll come on for good decision. Sarmiento, he'll get on the ball and he'll drag that Leeds team away.
Ampadu, Rutter gives the ball away. And now here is John Swift, plays it forward towards Thomas Asante. Too far in front of him. Leeds win it back. They have to keep it better, Andy.
Yeah, they do. But that's unlucky. You know, you don't mind losing the ball when you're trying to do things right.
Here come Leeds, right-hand side. Played inside to Joe Gelhardt, tries to poke it through. Kemi Ajayi clears. It wasn't the best of clearances. Kipre got in his way there.
That's
strong
a great
challenge
tackle.
from Rocco Yakushlu.
Great tackle.
Play continues. Leeds have a man down on the floor. Here is Strauch, playing with 10 for the time being. Now here is Jorginho Rutter, tries to beat Darnell Furlong, almost falls over the ball, and then brilliant defending from Darnell Furlong. Rutter's just not got in the game yet, Andy.
No, he's I want to say shocking, but I mean, for the money they paid for him, you'd expect a lot more than that, wouldn't you?
So John Swift off.
Yeah, thought it might have been
Jeremy Sarmiento coming on. It's his 4th consecutive substitute appearance.
I tell you what, he doesn't look happy, John Swift, and nor should he be being substituted. But in fairness to him, he's done a lot of hard work tonight. Things that you wouldn't necessarily associate with how John Swift plays. He's worked tirelessly for the team. Tracked back in, he's getting the plaudits down there, rightly so. You know, they've obviously come in with this game plan, and so far it's working. So far, so good.
21 minutes remain. Leeds United 0. West Bromwich Albion 1 at Ellen Road. Live on WBA radio. What a place this would be to come and claim what has been a rare away victory for West Bromwich Albion. Albion have lost 8 of the last 11 away from B71. And since Carlos Corberán first took charge on October the 29th, no current championship team have lost more away games than West Bromwich Albion. It shows how good the home form has been. If they can just, Andy, squeeze out, 4 or 5 more away wins in a season.
Yep.
You never know, Albion might just make the playoffs this season if their home form continues to be as good as it was last season.
Yeah,
it needs to improve if they're going to get inside the top 6.
The away form does. The away form does. But it's all about first. We spoke about it earlier, didn't we? And, you know, hopefully this could be the first away win of the season. And this is going to give the team confidence, isn't it? I mean, you know, to go away to Ellen Road, Leeds, you know, I know people will say, well, it's not the same Leeds as it used to be, and all that sort of jargon, but you know what? It's still a great away victory. You ask any fan that's travelled up here tonight and paid their hard-earned cash to come and watch this game, would they have accepted a draw? Would they have took a draw? Probably 90% of them would say yes. I think I probably would have coming up here. I would have took a draw. But to go away with all 3 points, wow, that's just incredible.
Well, Eric Peters has been shown a yellow card for taking too long to take the throw. And still he waits, Peters, as the rain starts to pour in West Yorkshire. Here's Brandon Thomas Asante. I just wonder how much longer he'll play in this game, given the fact that he only trained on Thursday, Andy. having picked up an injury against Stoke City. Here come Leeds. Albion give the ball away. Dan James crowded out by 4 players here. Can't find Jorginho Ruta, and Cedric Kipre just boots the ball over the stand.
That'll do.
Yeah, Josh Madger has been warming up. Surely we'll see him soon.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. You know, big, strong, powerful lad. You just need, when the ball comes up there now, you need somebody reliable to hold the ball up. Asante's run his legs off, in fairness to the kid. He always does, week in, week out, doesn't he? Gives everything. Leaves nothing on the pitch.
It's a bite. It's a strong challenge. It's come off a giant, ricocheted to Dan James. It's 1v1 with Furlong. James gets his delivery in towards Ayling. 1-1. A sumptuous cross from the left from Dan James. And the captain comes up with the goods for Leeds United. Luke Ayling arriving at the back post and nods into the bottom corner to make it 1-1.
Well, he's not had a touch all game, has he, Ayling, really? Dan James, it's a delightful cross, but if you look at our players, we're like trees, like we've been planted in pots. We're just all rooted to the ground in the penalty area. Excuse me. I mean, the ball comes out to James, and all 3 of us all stood there. Got to be dealt with. Got to defend better. I mean, yeah, it's a decent ball. I think it's Peters just backing off. Yeah. You've got to attack that.
Well, here come Leeds. They come straight at Albion again. It's a strike at goal from Jamie Shackleton. Takes a deflection off Cedric Kipre. Goes out for a throw right by the corner flag. But Albion certainly having to weather the storm now as the rain clouds sweep in. Yeah. Leeds back on level terms. Connor Townsend is being prepped.
I mean, this is where you learn your money now, because
here's Gelhardt, turns on the left-hand side of the penalty area, shoots, Palmer makes the save, and Furlong has to head it away. Nodded back up into the air. Rutter will jump, but the flag is up against the Frenchman, and Palmer comes and collects it anyway.
Well, we've got a game on now. 17 minutes to go, plus whatever stoppage time's added. And the roof's come off Ellen Road. I mean, the Baggage fans are singing, the Leeds fans are singing.
Here is Shemi Ajayi into Cedric Kipre, back to Ajayi, plays into midfield, gives it away, nowhere near Brandon Thomas Asante. Here is Ampadu through the legs of Archie Gray. James, the provider for that Leeds equaliser. Here's Pascal Struijk, 10 yards in front of the halfway line. Townsend and Madger will be coming on for West Bromwich Albion. Here is James again. Furlong won't want to let him cut in onto his right foot, but he's into the penalty area, and Malumbi has to come across and just smash that one out for a throw to Leeds. James looks dangerous.
Yeah, he does. He does look very dangerous. You don't want him in the box running at you, that's for sure.
Here's Archie Gray. Back to Pascal Struijk. And now Joe Roden. Here is Ethan Ampadu. Roden all the way back to the goalkeeper, Ilian Millier. Well, Albion started brightly, didn't they? They got the goal at the start of the second half, Andy, but for the last kind of 15, 20 minutes or so, Leeds have been the dominant team.
Well, we did say Leeds would come. They've got to have a go. And they certainly have. And now they're putting the pedal to the floor, aren't they? Really screwing us down.
So Peters off. And Connor Townsend coming on. Well, Ayling was just up above him, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's rooted to the floor, Peters. But Ayling runs off the back of Townsend.
Phillips.
Back of Phillips, sorry, yeah. And
came darting in, didn't he? Didn't give Peters a chance to get up off the ground, like you say.
He's caught under the ball. He's always going to lose that one. But we're planted on the floor. All of them, all players. You've got to have your body open. You've got to know what's around you.
So Thomas Asante off and Josh Madger on. It's a big 15 minutes now, this for Josh Madger. He needs to make the ball stick when it comes up to him.
Imagine he comes on and scores the winner. I mean, that's what he'll be thinking. Can I go on and get the winner? Well, that's what he should be thinking. I mean, the ball sticking, that's its job. That's what he's supposed to do. Going to get in the winner.
First appearance on the road for West Bromwich Albion, Josh Maja. Plenty of goals for Bordeaux last term, but yet to find the back of the net for Albion. This just his second appearance, so
yeah, in fairness, yeah.
Cedric Kipre rolls the ball back to Palmer. Jorginho Ruta trying to chase it down. Palmer gives it to Ajayi. Ajayi turns away from Joe Gelhardt. And now here's Furlong. Time and space for him to roll it in towards Maja. Gives the ball away with his first touch. Here is Gray. Now Dan James turns, runs at Darnell Furlong, tries to beat him on the outside, cross comes in, not a bad ball, towards the back post and Ayling again, headed away by Connor Townsend. It will go across towards the right-hand side. Shackleton prevents the ball from going over the line.
Well, Dan James is causing mayhem down this left-hand side, and he can cross left foot or right.
Here's Byram, James, 30 yards away from goal, drifts in from left to right, wants to try and play a 1-2 with Gelhardt. Gelhardt gives it to Sam Byram, left-hand side, 2 yards in from the left-hand touchline. He now has a run at Jed Wallace, gets to the byline. Sam Byram, cross comes in, hits Shemi Ajayi's toe, and thankfully Albion were able to clear the ball.
We've got to get up.
And now Furlong in behind looking for Maja. Albion's ball forward is poor again, Andy. Either overhit that one or find Josh Maja. Yeah. Didn't do either there, Furlong, unfortunately.
But in fairness to him, I mean, he's got a load of bodies in front of him. He needs players to get forward.
If you can't find feet, Andy, is the ball not clipped into the channel?
Well, of course it is. We all know that.
In comes the cross towards Jorginho Ruta, headed away by Cedric Kipre. Malumbi hits it forward. Didn't look, had time to take that down. Needs a shout from his teammate.
Yeah.
Leeds building up ahead of steam here, trying to get themselves in front in a championship game for the first time this season. Shackleton, edge of the box, good strong challenge from Malumbi. Albion win it back. Maja, that's better from him. Draws in the free kick, and Albion will surely now have a breather. Look at this, there's three of them on the haunches.
Yeah.
That's a yellow card for a Leeds man. It's Pascal Strauch who found the Albion substitute.
Wow. I mean, that's a little bit concerning to see so many of our players down, breathing heavy. Maja does very, very well there, draws the fouls, exactly what you want from him when the ball comes up. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a couple more substitutions, Jez.
And Albion have Tom Fellows, Nathaniel Chalabar and Alex Moat warming up. Under 12 minutes to go now, 1-1. The game perfectly poised, but Leeds looking like the most likely to grab a winner.
Come on.
He kicks the ball over the head of Matt Phillips on that left-hand side. Albion have been poor in possession, Andy. They haven't made it stick in this second half so far.
No, we started bright. But as you said, I mean, Leeds are dominating now.
Here is Strauch, edge of his own penalty area. Gives it to Ilian Meslier. Ampadu.
Steady, if you're on your own.
Albion making it difficult for Leeds to play their way out from the back. I don't think Jeremy Sarmiento's touched the ball yet.
I mean,
came on, 10 minutes ago?
He hasn't. He hasn't touched it. I'm sure he hasn't.
There is Strauch forward into a channel. One for Joe Gelhardt to chase. Ajayi just pushes Gelhardt out of the way. But that's the ball that Albion should be hitting.
Yeah.
If they're under pressure.
You can have a runner. Well, you haven't got to, but you look a bit daft if you just hit it in there. You know, they're full of running Leeds.
Well, Furlong taking his time with this throw. Chucks it down the line towards Josh Maja, headed away by Sam Byram. And Phillips tries to nod it to Maja again, but it hit the head of Ampadu. Albion played inside, Yukuzlu towards Maja. That's a strong challenge from Byram. That's a free kick to Albion.
Yeah.
Moans and groans from the Leeds fans down in front of us, but
come on, Maja, up you get.
They're closer to the ball than we are, Andy.
Yeah.
Funny old game.
It's a funny old game, isn't it? Somebody once said that.
Ajayi. Square to Cedric Kipre. Connor Townsend to the left-hand side, and Phillips. Albion haven't really had an attack, have they, Andy, since the goal?
No,
just been all Leeds. Palmer.
Needs help. Needs help.
To Furlong. Plays it inside. Albion have lost it again.
He's at 6 and 7 at the moment, Furlong. He's in a daze. Dan James has got him on toast, hasn't he? A little bit. He's got to get closer to Dan James. As soon as the ball's... He's got to be closer now. Don't give him... That's better. As soon as Dan James squares you up, you're losing the battle. He'll run you.
Here is Pascal Strauch.
That's better, that's better.
Now Byram, all the way back to the goalkeeper. Nathaniel Chalabar will be coming on for West Bromwich Albion for the final 9 minutes or so. Connor Townsend has the ball on the left-hand side. Plays it backwards to Palmer. Inside the penalty area, Jorginho Ruta puts the press on as Palmer hits it to Furlong. Nods it back inside, away from Jed Wallace, or into Jed Wallace, sorry. Then Furlong over the head of Ampadu, who's caught. Again, a decision which frustrates the home supporters inside Ellen Road.
Oh, that's a foul, surely.
There's a foul on Jed Wallace by Sam Byram.
They hate it, don't they?
Well, Andy, this is what, 10-15 yards inside the Leeds half, about 5 yards in from the right-hand touchline. Get the ball into the box. Get the ball into the box from there.
Of course. And
a giant
yeah, exactly, that's what you just said.
Albion have had so few opportunities to get to the final third, they may as well do it. Why not? As long as they're right at the back, Leeds will bring everybody back.
I mean, it's daft, it may seem. Carl Bartley would, throw him on there. Put the ball in the box.
Matt Phillips, right-footed, towards the edge of the penalty area. It's headed away and comes straight to Dan James. Takes it down. Leeds trying to attack at pace. James, strong challenge from Jed Wallace, wins the ball.
Good tackle that is from Wallace.
Throw for the home side.
One that needed to be made.
Dan James, who will have to wait because the Whites are going to... No, well, he's not going to have to wait. Sam Greenwood is going to have to wait. The Leeds number 19, stripped and ready to come on. The attacker for the final 7.5 minutes or so, plus whatever stoppage time we will have as Melier hits it long towards Ayling. Lovely flick round the corner. Out came Kipre to meet the ball. Moves it straight to the stand opposite us. And out for a throw it goes, and Greenwood will surely now be introduced to the action. Who for, though? That is the question.
I don't know. I was just thinking that myself.
Probably Jorginho Ruta. No, it's for Joe Gelhardt. So off comes the former Wigan and Sunderland man. And Sam Greenwood is on. Well, he's looked lively tonight, Gelhardt, without really
he has
creating too much damage at the back for Albion.
He's probably not the one I would have taken off.
Here is Ayling. Leeds have a throw over on the far side, 30 yards away from the corner flag. All very neat and tidy. Shackleton in towards Ayling, trying to dance his way through. And now it's slipped through into the penalty area. There might be a chance here for Leeds. Shemi Ajayi on the edge of the 6-yard box just sweeps that ball into touch. It will be a throw level with the penalty spot on the right-hand side.
Young lad Gray bursting through there.
Ayling goes backwards to Joe Roden. Taylor Gardner-Hickman will be coming on for Albion, not Nathaniel Chalabar as we first thought. Chalabar got the call, Andy.
Yeah, he did.
And Carlos Corberán has changed his mind. Here come Leeds, coming forward, but Albion win it back. Now Jed Wallace inside to Matt Phillips. Phillips has 3 white shirts on him. Trying to win something for Albion here, Phillips, but he's pushed out, and now James gets away, pokes it inside. Greenwood. Phillips trying to win the ball back. Greenwood is fouled. Free kick to Leeds United.
He's going for a card.
It's a yellow for Okay Yukuzlu. You've got to feel for Matt Phillips there, Andy. There's nobody around him.
I know.
And
check back
just
and he's
see
running
what's going to happen.
White, I know.
3 white shirts around him.
Sometimes the trouble with that, Matt, he checks back. Just keep running forward. Be positive. You never know, something might. If you're on your own, you're on your own. There's not a lot you can do. I think there could be some serious time added on. Yukuzlu's down now, and he's got back up.
Well, after all that, Nathaniel Chalabar is going to come on as well as Taylor Gardner-Hickman.
Okay.
Well, here comes the change. First one is Jed Wallace coming off. Taylor Gardner-Hickman, the man to replace the skipper. The armband goes to Okay Yukuzlu. Yukuzlu will have to give the armband away now because his number's just been raised. And he's giving it to Connor Townsend. So Chalabar on for Yukuzlu, Gardner-Hickman on for Wallace. Big job for both, Andy, with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, there are. It's massive. You know, you take Yukuzlu out of the team, he's like a rock in there.
Chalabar has to win the first balls.
Yukuzlu just walking off. Wow, Chalabar, yeah, you're absolutely. He needs to get up to the pace of this game very, very quickly. He needs to hit tackles. He needs to close down. All the things that we know he doesn't like to do. He likes to look silky on the ball, but he's going to have to do some dogging, some real serious dogging now in front of this back three, back five. You know, to see this game off.
Sam Greenwood to take the free kick for Leeds, midway inside the Albion half. In it comes, right-footed towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's flicked behind goal. And out for a goal kick to West Bromwich Albion. Thought for a moment it might have come off an Albion head, but it's a Leeds man who nods it behind. It might even been Joe Roden there inside the penalty area getting the final touch.
Yeah, it was.
3 minutes to go, 1-1. Albion hanging on in there, but there's still defending to do, Andy.
Yeah, there is. There's going to be some added time as well. I would easily 6-7 minutes, I would have thought.
Well, Ryan Lowe, the Preston manager, has just walked in front of us. Leeds next in action against Ipswich next Saturday. One of only 2 teams, Andy, in the Championship, would you believe, with maximum points so far in the division.
Oh, Ipswich.
Ipswich.
The Tractor Boys.
The Tractor Boys. Here come Leeds with Greenwood. He thought that he was being held onto there, and then Kipre is pushed in the back by Sam Greenwood. Well, you've got to feel for Leeds, because Greenwood was clearly being held onto there.
But you could see it coming as soon as the referee gave that decision.
Incredible division, isn't it, Andy? Only 2 teams out of the first 2 matches have won both of them.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable division. Great division, to be fair.
There's Palmer. Hits it long towards Josh Madger. Strauch heads it away. Up into the air by Ampadu. Chalabar wins the header. Needed to do that. He's won his first one. Now Matt Phillips tries to get away down the right-hand side. Phillips trying to win a throw for his team, and he's done that. Right by the corner flag in front of the Albion fans against Sam Byram.
That's better from Chalabar. He's read where the ball's going to drop. Second ball, wins the header. Keeps the pressure in there. Keeps the ball in that area.
Well, 33,890 inside Ellen Road tonight. Not quite a sellout. About 6,000 or 7,000 short. Here comes a long throw from Furlong. Headed away. It will go back to Darnell Furlong. Takes it down on his thigh. Hangs the cross up towards the back post. Kipre's up there. So too Chalabar. Comes to Cedric Kipre. Might come back to Kipre, but it's cleared away by Ayling. Out for a throw on the opposite side this time to Albion.
I think it comes off of Kipre's shin or knee or something, I think.
Connor Townsend with the ball in his hands. Daniel Farker, Carlos Corberán watching on. What is left in this encounter? Leeds 1, Albion 1 into the 90th minute at Ellen Road. Here is Sarmiento. First touch for him. Gets away from one. Looking to get away from a second. He does just that, Sarmiento. Delivers the cross. It's along the ground. It's cleared away by a Leeds defender. Might come to Josh Madger inside the box. The flag is up against the Albion number 9. Well, Sarmiento looking bright again.
Yeah, came alive.
Unfortunately, this time when the ricochet fell the way of Josh Madger, the flag was up on the near side very quickly. I mean, now it's all about how long the fourth official shows on his board.
I'm going 7. I'm going 7, I am.
I think it will be at least 5, that's for certain.
I'm just about to find out.
There's Meslier. Big kick forward. Over the halfway line towards Ruta. Header is won by Townsend. 7, bang on the money, and it.
Yeah. Buy
a lottery ticket this weekend. Here is Ayling. Kipre wins the header. There's a flag up against Sam Greenwood.
And all the Leeds fans are directly in line with it, as I am. He's offside. I mean, how can you argue that?
I know that supporters want to beat the traffic and everything, Andy, but I never understand with a game
why you'd leave
level. 7 minutes to go.
On a knife edge.
There are hordes of Leeds fans walking out the stadium.
Yeah.
There's Palmer. towards Furlong, headed away by Byram. I'm not an expert on city centre traffic in Leeds on a Friday night, but
can't imagine there's a lot. Once had a night out in Leeds dressed as Superman. 20 of us, 20 Supermen.
Did you go as Andy Johnson? There you go, I'll give you that one for free. Here is Furlong, throw for Albion, right-hand side, into stoppage time, into the box it comes, Ajayi flicks it forward to us, Josh Madger, headed away, and then slapped away by Pascal Strout, did both there, the Dutchman.
Put it back in there.
Well, the ball has bounced over the dugout. Furlong will take his time. The referee telling him to hurry up. We've played 90 seconds of the 7 minutes added on. 5.5 to go as Furlong launches it in once more. Up into the air it goes by Leeds defender Roden. That was a foul by Ajayi on the Welshman. And that will be a free kick to the home team. This would be a morale boosting point for Albion.
Yeah, but
especially given their troubles on the road that they've experienced in the last 2 years. And
well, definitely, we spoke about it before the game, and I'm sure all the Baggers fans will agree. A point at Leeds, it's nothing to be sniffed at. It's a great point. We come to Ellen Road, we get a point. You know, you
2007, remember the last time Albion got anything here.
Well, we beat Swansea, you get a point here, and then you go and beat Borough at home the weekend.
Two home games to come for Albion before the international break.
Yeah, that's a great week.
And Sam Byram just slaps the ball over the roof. It's the second ball Leeds have lost this evening.
There's a young lad out there collecting them, I expect.
Just thinking the same thing, isn't it?
It's like the good old days. Used to do that myself down outside the stadium. Mind you, they never come over roofs like this. You could see it coming towards you from on the pitch.
Throw for Furlong. And it comes to the penalty spot, headed away. Townsend
it's a clever ball.
Lofts it out towards Furlong. Furlong can't keep it in play. Throw for Leeds United. 93 minutes played, 4 to go. Most of the stoppage time has been played inside the Leeds half.
Yeah, it has. Well, down in this right-hand corner here.
Well, the referee is telling Sam Byram to take 5 steps backwards, sorry. There's Byram, comes forward again. Ruta
it's a foul.
Pushes Furlong after he'd jumped. Free kick.
Look at the fans. It's a blatant foul.
I don't think he's even looking at the ball, Andy Jorginho Ruta.
It's crazy.
Taylor Gardner-Hickman will take the free kick, and Ajayi and Kipre have both gone forward.
Wow.
Albion maybe sensing a late winner here.
Yeah, why not?
Gardner-Hickman delivers it towards Cedric Kipre. Over his head, it's headed away by Luke Ayling. Throw over on that far side. Sarmiento will leave it for Connor Townsend. Albion taking their time. Townsend waiting for the right ball to show itself. Throws it backwards to Cedric Kipre. Here is Ajayi, slides it through. Matt Phillips trying to turn. He's got 2 on his back.
Go on.
Phillips looking to play it through towards Josh Madger. Takes a deflection off Ampadu and ricochets straight through to Ilian Meslier. 94.5 minutes gone. Meslier rolls it out to Joe Roden. Roden back to Meslier. Hits it long over the halfway line towards Ayling. Ayling is pushed off the ball by Townsend. Good defending. Over his head it goes, out for a throw on that far side. More valuable seconds wasted for Albion here.
Well, he's hardly touched the ball tonight, Luke Ayling, has he? Yeah, one of the touches he has got. It's the most vital one, and it's ended up in the back of the net.
There's Josh Madger, holds onto the ball. Shemi Ajayi across to Darnell Furlong. That's a better ball into the channel, one for Matt Phillips to chase.
It causes trouble.
It's hit Byram's head and gone out for a throw.
It causes problems. The ball in behind causes problems. They've got to defend it. And he's put this out for a throw-in now, right in the place where Darnell Furlong can get it into the box.
Well, Byram's got cramp and Matt Phillips is the man to help him. Good sportsmanship that from Matt Phillips.
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
Throw for Albion. In line with the penalty spot on the right-hand side.
What's happened to the game, Jez, when you're helping the other team with cramp?
You wouldn't have helped George Santos up, would you?
I certainly wouldn't.
Here's Furlong into the penalty area. It's cleared away. It will come straight back to Furlong.
Deliver.
He's got Chalabar with him. It's back to Chalabar who delivers. It's not the best of balls. It's cleared away, and it will come to Malumbi, who hits it on the half volley into the ground and bounces 3 times before going through to Ilian Meslier. Encouraged to kick it quickly, but Josh Madger does well just to stand in his way.
Yeah, he does do well, Madger.
Meslier rolls it out into Pascal Strauch. We're into the final minute of the time allotted. Remember, it's just a minimum as Dan James hits it forward, cleared by Cedric Kipre. Ampadu picks it up ahead of Josh Madger, rolls it through towards Jorginho Rutter. Here is Rutter, edge of the penalty area. Rutter shoots, and it's wide of Palmer's far post. Well, he's done nothing all game, Andy. He's done nothing since joining Leeds United.
And thankfully it stays that way.
And thankfully
he's still done nothing. Yeah, that would have been...
It doesn't force Palmer into a save. It was always...
That would have been terrible.
Edging wider and wider away from that post. And it remains 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion. 1-1 here. I wish it was 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion.
Well, it was.
Palmer kicks it long. 15 seconds to go. Furlong wins the header up towards Josh Madger. He's won his side a throw, and they may as well pump this into the penalty area now, Andy.
Yeah, definitely.
Have they got enough time to? That is the biggest question. 5 seconds left.
Wow.
If Leeds don't find a winner here, it'll be the first time since 16-17 that they've failed to win any of their first 3 games in the second tier, and that has happened. The referee, Matthew Donoghue, blows his whistle, and Albion have taken a point from Ellen Road. A really good point for West Bromwich Albion as well, who were under the cosh for large parts of this game, specifically after they scored the night's opening goal as well. A highly controversial one, the ball bouncing in off the arm of Brandon Thomas Asante with a strike from Jason Malumbi that deflected in off the Albion forward. Leeds got back on level terms though when Luke Ayling headed in with 18 minutes to go. They had to weather the storm, the Baggies. They had to be brave and resolute and determined at the back, and they were just that. Leeds unable to break them down, and Andy Johnson, that's a very, very credible point for the Baggies on the road.
Yeah, you've got to say it's a great point. You know, you come up here to Ellen Road, Leeds, well, we haven't won up here for God knows how long, as you've already said, Jez, so to come here and get a point, you know, that's 4 points in 2 games. Yeah, that's exactly what you've got to do, and, you know, that gives everybody the confidence going into... I mean, what I'm pleased about is we've obviously come here with a game plan, the way Carlos is set up, because he's dropped Townsend and put Phillips in there, and it's worked, hasn't it? You know, we've come here, we've got the point, nearly took all 3. But a point's great. You know, we now go into the Borough game full of confidence, unbeaten in 2. Let's go and get 3 points in Borough.
So a great night for the Baggies here at Ellen Road. Could have been even better if they'd managed to hang on to their 1-0 lead. But Ayling's leveller means it's finished 1-1 here in West Yorkshire. Thank you for joining AJ tonight. As always, it's great to have you with us, whether you were watching from abroad or listening live from the UK or abroad. We'll be back next Saturday afternoon when Albion host Middlesbrough at the Hawthorns. But for tonight, it is finished. Leeds United 1, West Bromwich Albion 1.